What's going on, everyone? So Austin Reaves, obviously, is playing for Team USA. He looked great in the first game, and we'll see how he continues going forward. I'm really excited for him in this upcoming season. I really think he's going to have a great year in year 3. I think he's going to have a bigger role. I think he's going to be one of the big fixtures for the Lakers. The Lakers got him a new contract, 4 years, $56 million. Austin Reaves has even relayed, that it's been a real, sort of burden lifted off of him because now he can just kind of play basketball and not have to worry about all the ins and outs and things behind the scenes. And I think that that's huge for him. But one of the things I just kind of saw in passing, I don't know for sure if this is something that is actually happening. I don't really know how you would know this for sure or not. But saw a little report that says Austin Reaves has kind of floated around or recruiting players for Team USA to come play with the Lakers. Now, this makes a world of sense, right? LeBron has this year, and then he can opt out next year. So if a star or something like that wanted to come, LeBron could actually make it happen, right? LeBron could play for a vet minimum if he wanted to. Not saying that he would do that, but I could see LeBron, especially if the Lakers win the championship or they're close to winning a championship. Let's say they get to the NBA Finals, they lose in a tough 6 or 7. I could see LeBron saying all right, we're a piece away. Let's go get that other guy and kind of restructuring his contract. But regardless, whatever ends up happening, even if that doesn't happen, LeBron, he could leave after this year. He could leave after 2 years, 3, whatever. But at some point in the next 3 to 5 years tops, I don't even know if it'll be 5 years, but LeBron James is no longer going to be on the Lakers. Lakers have Anthony Davis locked up for the next 5 years, so they got the superstar. They got a really great foundation, really great players. The only thing that they would need is that other second star, right? And maybe it is Austin Reaves. Maybe Austin Reaves, once LeBron leaves, he emerges into that, or Rui Hachimura, or maybe Max Christie, or somebody, right? You never know. Especially once LeBron leaves and the younger guys kind of have more of an opportunity, right? They don't have to defer to LeBron as much, and they can get, the 20 shots a game or whatever. Maybe that happens. But it would be nice to go get a star replacement, even if Austin Reaves does become a star. Well, now you got 3 stars, and you got somebody in Austin Reaves that's very selfish that could play, in multiple facets, right? So it would make sense if Austin Reaves is kind of just throwing it out there, hey, LeBron might be leaving in a couple years, contract's up in a couple years, come to the Lakers. And for those that are nah, I don't really think that, well, hey, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh did it. That's where they came up with the idea, was with Team USA, right? That was the whole thing. They talked about the idea of playing together, and fast forward, 4 years or whatever, and all of a sudden, you had all 3 of them team up and go to a team together. It happens a lot. You don't think when guys are sitting there and they're becoming buddies and, they're, man, I love playing with you. And it's yeah, dude, we should get together at some point later on down the road, right? It happens. It happens a lot with Team USA. And so the idea of Austin Reaves telling some of these guys hey, man, I love playing with you. Dude, come to the Lakers in a few years, man. I mean, come on, we're really good. We were just in the Western Conference Finals, and we were basically duct taped together. Now we're going to have a full season where we could win the NBA championship this year, and we had this young core for a while, right? You come to us, you got Anthony Davis locked up. Come on, man. That's a great situation. You could be the missing piece we need in a couple years. You kind of sell the pitch, right? I definitely think that that's something that makes sense. And, look, this roster doesn't have any of, the superstars, but it does have some really good players. Imagine our core right now, and we got a guy like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, Rui Hachimura, Max Christie, Jared Vanderbilt, stop, right? Come on. And Anthony Edwards could be the best player, or at least top 5 player in the next, couple years. Right? Could he be hey, get me out of Minnesota. Let me go to the Lakers. Right? For his brand and just the big market and all that stuff, especially if he turns out to be a top guy. Everybody says the Lakers never get a guy until all of a sudden LeBron James is signing up, and then they go get Anthony Davis, and then at the end of the day, it's still the Lakers. It's still Los Angeles. And we got LeBron James and Anthony Davis when the Lakers were at one of their worst times ever in their history. The Lakers are going to be very good for a long time. You don't think that there's stars that are monitoring that are thinking like, man, LeBron, my contract ends in like 2-3 years. LeBron's going to be gone. You know, you got Austin Reaves, maybe Max Christie if he becomes something. You know, Jared Vanderbilt is a lockdown defensive guy. I don't have to guard the best player on the other team every night. Like, I'd have a guy in Jared Vanderbilt. Anthony Davis has got my back. That's a legit two-way guy. You know, top 10 player in the league. Like, I could win a championship there. Absolutely. There's stars doing that right now. There's stars that are licking their chops going, man, like I go to LA, go to that market, get a max. Like, of course there are. You know, like, guys like, you know, Jalen Brunson, they're probably there for a long time. You know, Walker Kessler, he's young, so he's going to be a Jazz for a while. And even he, like, the big question mark is that Paolo Banchero, right? The Lakers love Orlando Magic big men. Does Paolo say, hey, you know what? Like, let me go Lakers. Chances are he probably takes the bag, so that's probably a little while. But, like, Mikal Bridges, like, he's looked really good. Does he kind of continue to blossom and show that he's, you know, one of the better two-way players in the league? Like, the guys that I would really want, though, like, and I'd be pushing hard for, would be, like, get Brandon Ingram back. I wouldn't hate that. You know, Triple J would be great. But more than anybody, Anthony Edwards, man. Like, if the Lakers could ever manage to get Anthony Edwards, like, whew. Watch out. Anthony Edwards and Anthony Davis, just those two alone, have the potential to be the best two, you know, combo duos in the league. Like, just the dynamic play, like having the little big, you know, a modern version of like Kobe, Shaq, you know, like that would be great, right? I'm not saying that they're anywhere compared to that. I'm just saying, like, you know, like the big man down low that just can handle the heavy lifting, and then you also got that guard that can just get buckets, right? Like, that would just be perfect. You know, but I wouldn't mind, like, you know, Triple J wants to get out of Memphis, right? Like, imagine him and Anthony Davis. That would be the best front court in the league. Both guys can stretch the floor. He was the defensive player of the year. Like, you'd have two elite defensive guys down low that could block shots, switch, defend multiple positions, guard the pick and roll. Like, stop, right? Like, or even a guy like Brandon Ingram, right? Anthony Davis, Brandon Ingram, like, that would be so. Like, I wouldn't mind bringing Brandon Ingram back. Problem with Brandon Ingram is like the injury concerns with him, and there's kind of question marks about just like, it seems to be about like just his character and just like his leadership at times. But how much of that is he's on like a Pelicans team where he's like, you know, they're struggling even when he's good, and then all the Zion mess and stuff. But I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't be shocked if Austin Reaves really is like trying to recruit and talk to people and being like, hey, you know, like, how would you feel about coming to Lakers? Like, let's do that. But I don't know. I mean, it's not far-fetched at all to think that they're building relationships. They're together for, what is it, like 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, something like that, right? So they're building this bond, this brotherhood, these relationships. They're playing together. They're getting the feel for each other. They're loving the feel of playing together. Same thing happened with Miami. Same exact thing. So it's not as far-fetched as you may think. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I think that Austin Reaves is taking the time to kind of just speak with the guys at Team USA, kind of throw out the idea. Like I said, I don't think he's like going up to, you know, Triple J or Brandon Ingram or, you know, Anthony Edwards, and they're like, hey, you're going to be a Laker. Like, I don't think it's like that, but I can see just in the conversation or something like that, you know, like, man, I you know, again, like, kind of like, you know, a car salesman, like, hey, it's a really nice car, you know, like that kind of route, going that approach, just kind of like alluding to the idea, like, hey, man, man, we're really good together. We play really well together. Like, imagine, you know, if we could team up, down the road. And it's like, yeah, like, it just, hey, guys recruit each other all the time. All the time. So to think that Austin Reaves isn't doing some level of that, especially with the opportunity that he has, you don't think he wants to compete and win championships and stuff? Of course he does. He's an absolute dog. So I fully expect him to be talking to some of these guys. And they're all like kind of the young, up-and-comer, like, hey, these guys could, all be top guys and could help lead the Lakers to a championship, especially with the Lakers roster and just the depth and the youth. And you already got the one superstar in Anthony Davis after LeBron. It's a great position to be in. Great position to be in. And I guarantee you that there are stars that are at least considering it, or if they haven't yet, they're going to. Because the Lakers are always a destination, period. But then you add in the fact that you could play alongside Anthony Davis and all this young talent. Like, the Lakers are going to be very good for a long time, even if they don't get another star. Right? They still could have potential, especially, again, depending on Austin Reaves and guys step up. But, if you could get that other star. Like I said, Anthony Edwards, he's like kind of the one young guy that I look at and go, man, I would love, like, he fits the Lakers beautifully. But anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.